Hello, seventh grade students and seventh grade families. The seventh grade Keys trip is coming up very quickly. And so this is just a quick informational video and slideshow for you so that your student is prepared for this super fun trip. So the date of the trip is Thursday, May 1st, just a few weeks away. And we actually attend this trip with our Hollywood campus. We love to collaborate with that campus as much as possible. Many of your students will go to high school there. We hope all of them will go to high school there. So it makes sense for us to do a lot of these trips together. And so on the trip, Mr. Mitchell will be there. There'll also be leadership from the Hollywood team. As far as the leadership from the CCA North Miami campus, Miss Seymour will be there, Mr. Martinez, and Miss McIntosh. So our goal for this trip is discipleship. Whenever we can leave our campus and just have a change of scenery, we always use that as an opportunity to just engage the students in truth. And so we'll have a good devotion time. There's also a very big science education aspect to this trip. Getting off campus, like we talked about, is just great for camaraderie as well, for the students just to be able to spend time together outside of the walls of our school. And so it is just going to be a fun trip. So like we said, the date is May 1st. Students should arrive at CCA North Miami at 5:45 a.m. I know, bright and early, but because this is only a one-day trip, this is not an overnight trip, we just want to get the most out of the day, and we pack in so much into this one day that I'm going to share with you. Very important that you're on time because of how much we're packing into the trip. It is a very tight schedule, and so we cannot leave late. And so it's very important that you're here on time so that you don't miss out. Be on time. I might say that a few times. When you get here, you'll find the bus. The bus will be parked in front of the gym. It will be hard to miss in our parking lot. And then you will check in with Miss Seymour. It's very important that you check in with her so that she knows that you're here. So here's what the day looks like. And I'm going to actually tell you some things that aren't on here. I'll give you some insider information. We're going to leave CCA at 5:45 a.m. We arrive in the Keys at about 8:15 a.m. So some of the things, so there's this big gap between arriving in the Keys and dinner and devotion. So some of the things that we do is we get to feed some tarpon. We will go on a boat ride to about 5 miles out into the ocean, and the students will be able to snorkel within a coral reef. And so we'll talk more about that because for some of you that just made you worry. So I'm going to ease your worries in just a few minutes. The students will also dissect squid. Like I said, this is really a big science trip. And they're also going to kayak. So we're going to pack all four of those things into one day. We will have lunch. Lunch will be provided. And then we're having a beautiful dinner. We have a banquet room at a hotel with a buffet dinner, and we'll have a devotion time. We always want to just take the opportunity to spend some time in God's Word and prayer. And then about 5:30, we'll leave John Penny Camp, and the goal is to be back at CCA North Miami by 7 p.m. So here's what's expected of our students. Obviously, we want them to be well-behaved and self-controlled. I really have no worries about this. We were just talking recently, some of the staff, on when we have gone on field trips with our students, with our CCA North Miami students, we always get compliments, and it just makes us so proud of our students that they know how to behave properly and to be self-controlled. And it makes the trip just so fun because we don't have to bother with some other difficulties that could come from lack of self-control. We want to always represent CCA North Miami with Christ-like behavior. Dress appropriately. We're going to talk about what that means. Be attentive and respectful. We will have teachers and student leaders from the Fort Lauderdale campus guiding and directing in the kayaking and in the squid dissection and in the snorkeling. And so it's really important that the students are attentive. Obviously, during the bus ride, they need to stay seated. They need to stay with their leader at all times. We have 3 leaders going, so we'll have about 7 or 8 kids only per adult. And then to have fun and to enjoy each other's company. And they can do that by being kind and loving to one another. So here's what they should wear. And they should wear shorts. We're going to the Keys. It's going to be warm. Pray for beautiful weather. I know in the past we've always, it's just a good time of year for some good weather in general. Wear shorts, t-shirts, hats, water shoes, or old sneakers, because when they're kayaking, the shoes get wet. We're going to be near and in and around water all day long. So water shoes or old sneakers, no flip-flops, because we're on the boat. It's not safe there. We also want to make sure their feet are protected. Swimsuits can be worn because you're going to be in the water, but you're going to wear that under shorts and a t-shirt. Boys should wear normal length swimming shorts with a shirt. Girls can wear a bathing suit under, whether it's a tankini or even a 2-piece, but they have to have a shirt over the bathing suit, and make sure it's not a white shirt, because the white shirt will be see-through, as well as shorts. These are middle schoolers, and we are just trying to promote the best modest environment as we can and not let them be distracted. So like I said, all students must wear a t-shirt at all times. Notice it says no tank tops, because there's different fits of the tank top. So just by having a t-shirt, it kind of just makes for better coverage. And you'll see the next one about covering the entire torso, no bare tummies. All shirts must have sleeves, no tank tops. So it kind of repeats itself, because I think we want to drive that point home. Not only for modesty, but also because of sunburn. So we don't want any sunburned or sun poisoned shoulders. So those t-shirts will help with that. Girls, we recommend appropriate length shorts that will dry quickly and are comfortable in the water, not like spandex necessarily, or the ones that cling to you. Boys, same thing, appropriate length shorts or basketball shorts that can dry quickly. Rash guards or shirts made of that cooling material. Think of our field day shirts. That would be a great shirt to bring, that has that quick drying material. When you're wearing hats or shirts and clothing, make sure that any logos are appropriate or any images are appropriate. And if you're not sure, just don't wear it. If you're really questioning it, you probably just shouldn't wear it. So here's what your student needs to bring on this trip. You want to pack lots of water. 4 water bottles. You also need to pack a breakfast. We are providing lunch and dinner, but because we're leaving so early, it might be good to pack a breakfast unless you're going to eat before you come. And if you do pack a breakfast, make sure you pack a non-messy breakfast. Pancakes and syrup probably won't be the best idea. A banana, a granola bar, that kind of thing would be best. Some dry cereal. And it would be good also, especially if your child has a large appetite and they maybe need food a little more often, like they do because they're growing. Pack a healthy snack, a couple healthy snacks for in between lunch and dinner would be a great idea, such as granola bars, energy bars, trail mix. Fruit is always a great option. Leave the gum at home. We're going to be on the bus. We're going to be in the water. Just not a good idea. Sunscreen, sunglasses, a towel, and a hat are super important. Sunscreen, I recommend putting the sunscreen on before they even get on the bus, before you leave home, and then send it with them so they can reapply. They'll have to reapply it. They're middle schoolers. We won't be putting sunscreen on people, on your students. So send them with it as well. Because they'll be in and out of the water, they'll have to reapply. Sunglasses are a great idea. Towel is a must, and hats are a good idea. Also some insect repellent. When we're kayaking through the mangroves, and there can be mosquitoes. So especially if you're sensitive to getting bit, mosquitoes, just like certain people pack that insect repellent. As far as the shoes, we already touched on this a little bit. Some kind of water shoe or old sneaker that you don't mind getting wet. Strap-on sandals. I know someone's going to ask about Crocs. If the Crocs can be secure on your feet, we've had some Crocs float away. We had this happen on the Bahamas trip. So that's the only downside of Crocs, is they don't usually fit securely and can come off the feet. So just keep that in mind. If you decide to wear Crocs, I feel like they are good for the water. However, because they don't stay on, you'll be wearing them at your own risk that you could lose them. And Crocs aren't cheap. So keep that in mind. Old sneakers are really great. Or if you get water, Walmart has great water shoes. You'll wear those on the bus. So you don't have to change. Here's what else you can bring. You can bring some money. We have one stop at Robbie's where they feed the tarpon, and there are some snacks and souvenirs in there. So if you want to send them with like $15, not required by any means, and certainly don't send them with a bunch of money. Like probably no more than 30 would be recommended, again, because of what they're going to be wearing and leaving things on the bus. You just don't want to send a surplus of money. By the way, one thing I didn't mention, just in case it's not clear, there is no extra cost for this trip. You have paid it in your activities fee. And so we want every child to be able to attend. So there's no extra cost at all to you for this trip. Okay, so also bring an additional change of clothes for activities and the return ride home. So you're not riding home in wet clothes. T-shirts or shorts and jeans, following those same modesty guidelines. So you'll probably want to bring a small backpack, which that will have the sunscreen, the hat, the change of clothes, the towel, and just enough to fit that. Be aware that we will be on and off the buses all day long. The buses will not be locked or attended to during the day. So consider that before you allow your child to bring expensive items on the trip, including cell phones and electronics. I would say no electronics. If they want to bring their cell phone, totally understandable. Have them bring their cell phone, but just be aware that they're going to be in charge of it. It's maybe hard. Obviously they're going to be in the water. That leaves their cell phone to be sitting around. Obviously, your teachers and leaders cannot be holding 20-something cell phones for the students. So just keep that in mind, because cell phones are expensive. And if they get wet, we all know what happens, or if they get lost. So you received waivers. You received a paper waiver, and you received a link for an online waiver. Both of those must be completed. Make sure you just follow the directions, fill it out completely and appropriately for when it asks for the student or when it asks for the parent. These are a must. Even if your child says, I don't want a kayak, I don't want to snorkel, still have them fill out the waiver, because it would be really sad, and we've had this happen, where they say they don't want to do it, and that's fine. We're not going to force them. But then they see all their friends and they go, I think I can do it. But then, sorry, you didn't turn in the waiver, so you can't. So just in case, even if they say 100% I don't want to do it, still fill out the waiver. Better for us to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, okay? So there's no Q&A because this isn't live, but I know one of the questions that you have is about safety for your child because of the water. So I'm actually going to share with you just some of the safety measures. Number one, when we are snorkeling in the middle of the ocean and when we are kayaking, all students must wear a life jacket. Even if they are Olympic swimmers, they will have to wear a life jacket. They will not be permitted. The way that it works, there's a boat. They get off the boat on the back, and we have a string of adults. We also have lifeguards in the water all around the boat, because they don't go with the boat. Stops in a certain spot and we stay there, and the students are just around the boat. They're not like swimming out away. And we have certified lifeguards. The captain of the boat provides staff for that. We also bring certified lifeguards, trained lifeguards. So they must have a life jacket, and then they also will have pool noodles, which we even had some kids who were very weak swimmers last year that they felt completely secure and comfortable in the life jacket with the noodle, and eyes are just on them the whole time. We're watching them like hawks. So I want you to be at ease with the safety measures that we take. We understand that some of the children may not swim. We will not force anybody to get into the water. And it's fun just to sit on the boat and watch the other kids if that's what needs to happen. But even on the kayak, where we won't really be in deep water, they still are required to wear the life jacket. No life jacket, no kayak. So I just want you to rest secure in that. And in the supervision, like I said, our ratio will be no more than 8 children per adult. And so that makes it very manageable. And then on top of that 1 to 8, then we also have those lifeguards in the water. So if you have any questions, concerns, you need to talk it out a little bit more. You can email me at chrish@ccaeagles.org. Sorry, I don't have that up on the screen. But you can also call the school office, and Miss Rose will put you through to me. So let me know if you have any questions. Be preparing. Watch your email. We're going to send out like a packing list and send out some of this in print. You can also go back and look at the slides as well. So thank you. And